Hello, so these are all items I found on ground zero. So you don't actually have to go to other maps to get the best loot, because if you get lucky enough or if you are smart enough to search in the right places, you can get really cool gear. Everything you see on me was found on ground zero. The KA-103, the RPG-7, the level 5 helmet, the level 4 combat body armor, the key case, gas mask, travel bag, and you can even get a survivalist travel bag, which is the better bag than this one. Now, we'll not speak about the loot inside the camp itself or you fighting the boss. We'll also do a little bit of a route plus a loadout for the map. So basically all of the best looting locations on the map except the camp. The camp is a location you should always hit, plus you have a chance of getting really cool gear like the combat armor or a better helmet from the guards, or even some really cool items. But again, it's all about looting the map except road camp, because that's what you should always do every game. But I think people tend to overlook some other locations as well, especially after you get all of the keys or some of the keys. So let's put this beautiful thing back inside. And let's speak about the loadout you should take on the map. Now, it mostly depends on the player, but I think at some point you just have to have, let's say, the HP totem, no matter if it's 1, 2 or 3. And then something for armor or for carry capacity. So at some point you'll just be something like this. So you'll be HP and totem. You can even, I think the tier 2 gives you 15 HP, which is also pretty good, but it doesn't reduce your mobility, so you can go for the tier 2 totem. And then sturdy tier 3 is very good for that as well. Travel backpack or whatever else you have. You also need a key case to gather all of the keys. The keys are also worth a lot of money, so I keep the key case at all times on my duck. Plus you get the safe key that you can use to open the safe in ground zero, which is the one in the road camp, which, like I said, will not loot because that's the obvious location. And as for the other stuff, I recommend you have an AK-103 or the STG-77A3. This is the best gun you can buy in ground zero from the trader that is on the hill. So I recommend you buy, let's say, 3 or 4 of these, because they'll eventually break down and you'll eventually lose some of them if you're playing on expert. As for over here, what you should put on them, well, more or less the same attachments on all guns. A 2x scope, mandatory. An extended magazine as much as you can put on it. A laser that reduces your ADS time. This one has a little bit of a movement bonus as well. A balance stock, this is a tier 2 balance stock. And a grip that has some cool things. This is another grip that I found again on ground zero. And the spiral one is pretty good, so just put all of these attachments on whatever gun you can find. Obviously this one doesn't have a stock on it, but it's kind of like the best gun. I played most of the gun with most of the game with it. So let's put that back over there. As for the other items, you'll 100% need a shovel over here. You'll 100% need the headphones. The gas mask is not really needed over here, but it's a good thing to improve your head armor. And some other stuff. At this point of the game you should be using grenades because they're very cheap to buy. They're great against the bosses or the mercenaries in the camp because you don't really have to run away from them. Just throw a grenade and they'll run away from you as well. So 600 luck points or whatever this is. Always buy the standard rifle bullets, so buy them at all points. Now over here at this point of the game you should try and unlock as fast as you can the yellow injectors because they give you a lot of speed. And you should always buy the chocolate milk. I know it sounds weird, but it just speeds up the whole process so much because you don't have to search for food at any point. As for healing, to be honest, you don't need much for healing. You just need the normal med cases, the first aid ones, the small ones. This is kind of overkill. I recommend you just have some basic medkits. This will be more than enough. Some cola is also nice because it heals, gives you energy, hydration and happy. Happy just makes it so you're more resistant to gunfire, I believe, more or less in broad terms. You can play the entire game with standard AR bullets in ground zero, but at some point I just recommend you craft the better versions. Now you do need to upgrade this a little bit with the armor bullet crafting. Then you can just buy whatever normal bullets from the trader. Dismantle them. You'll get gunpowder. And then you also have to buy the gunpowder from here. The other gunpowder, like it's Resident Evil canned gunpowder. Then you can just grab some armor piercing bullets. The armor piercing bullets are amazing, because they not only do more damage, they're actually going to help you kill the enemies much faster. So, especially the armored ones like the mercenaries. So we'll not use them because that's not really the point right now. The point is to have a lot of stockpile of these items as much as you can. And then we can go and do the mission itself. Now, I'll not go over all of the keys you need, but definitely you need a grey house key. It's super, super good. The southern factory access. I'm not sure if this is the factory. I think this is the southern one to access a little gated area. But like I said, you don't really need all of the keys. But these two will definitely be very, very good. So, let's get started. As for what you should loot, well, that mostly depends on what you need, on the quest items and some other stuff. So let's go to sleep. Usually I like to sleep until 5:40. You also need to loot all of or most of the locations where we can have a digging spot, because they can have some surprisingly good items. And yeah, this is kind of basically what you'll need at some point, especially after you're a little stronger. Now be careful, because you can unlock the survivor duck or whatever it is a little faster, but it will decrease your running speed. So as you saw, you don't really want a lot of stuff that decreases your movement speed, but it will help you survive longer. So let's go. You go from down here. By the way, you should never ever go out during the night, because you have a chance to spawn the spider bots. So just wait until it's daytime. It's daytime. Now let's go. There are a few things you should avoid, like fighting too much or just drawing all of the attention of the map. And my duck is super slow, but your duck probably doesn't have all of the debuffs, like from the totem or from the ranger class. The Man of Light, to be honest, at some point you don't want to fight him anymore, because it's not worth it. Come over here and get some loot. If you fight him, I guess you can kill him. So let me show you what are the best. So this house over here, and then you go over here, this location over here. Then you go to the house over here, you visit the camp over there, then you go something like this, and go up top over here. There are so many good items over here, you wouldn't believe it. Come back over here. This is kind of like an optional one, because it messes up the entire run, and then you go back over here, that one, and then you extract. It's kind of like a fun little loop, but mostly you can just make it much more straightforward, like that, and then you come back over here, go from here. That's basically the best route. Whoa, he avoided your gunfire? I don't remember him doing that. He usually has some good items, but it's not really worth doing at some point. Because he always drops the same thing. I don't think he has a better drop than this. Yeah, the axe is 1000, but that's kind of like the amount of ammo you have to spend to kill him anyway. As for all, you should always loot all of the ducks, but for the purpose of this video, not loot all of them. You can also skip most of those looks. If you have all of the feathers you need, there's not really much point to loot them. Over here, because there can be a crow mercenary spawn. Enter this little area over here, and this is where you can... Oh yeah, see, Chinese knot, that's already a great item. I should know that it seems that loot gets better as you level up more and more. And that's, yeah, red envelope. The red envelope is the best item in the game. You can even find, like I said, AK-1 and 3 in it. You can find the RPG in it. You can find so many good items. Also, well, you can put very heavy items in the container, because they weigh nothing over there. The dog is so strong in that regard. There can be sometimes something small over there, like a toolkit. Also find a lot of good items over here as well, so you probably want to take the worms, a shed key. Well, I already have it. This would also be nice. I guess I can go to the merchant and sell some stuff, but just to show you what you can find. Now, the smaller health kits actually are much faster than the bigger ones. So that's what I like to use more or less. Another injector, please. Sometimes the scavengers over here will fight the crow mercenary, which is great for you because you can loot for free a big enemy. And for some chocolate milk. And you can go up to the extraction to see what you have over there, but that's really not worth it because there's only one better crate over there. This is such a good key. Dynamite is always useful. But you can have over here an ammo box or two, which will be extremely useful as well, because the best loot sadly is ammo. It can sell for a high price, so check out this little area over here. No, so this is the factory access card, so yeah, sorry about that. And I like to go over here to check the food box, because in the food boxes you can have a lot of useful items, like take all of the potatoes you can to make potato graphic cards. You will also need the energy bars, the chocolate bars, the protein powder. Yeah, just search all of the food boxes you can, because they're the most important item to loot, more or less, because you just need a lot of items from them. I also recommend you take most of... I will not explain what are the better items, but you can just loot everything that stacks. That's also a good bet. Potato. Tuna cannon. I think I don't need it anymore. There's also a box over here. Now the grey house will be opened. I guess you should search the box before going to the house, so you don't forget. That's actually a lot of potatoes in one run. There can be a console spawn over here, some safes over here, but even if you get to cabinets, that's great. Key case. That's nice. Also loot all of the toys. What? Don't enter the house, you maniac ducks. Can you imagine they have kind of varying loot types on them? I just recommend you wait until you see the last one. Because it can be some really good ammo. A box over here. Radio. And then this scavenger camp over here is great as well. You also should loot all of them, because sometimes they'll have a better backpack. I guess you can look at the backpack before you destroy them. Ammo box over here. And our bullets are also nice. I guess you can check all of the ducks. If they have more inventory slots, that means they have something cool. But if they only have 3 or 2, if they have 2, they're not worth searching. If they have 3, they're worth searching. There's something over here as well. There also can be some crows over there. Some other stuff over here. Food box over here as well. I think I might have missed one searching spot, but usually I like to search this one because this one can have really good loot. So there are a lot of spots actually, but most of them are not that good. And now, like I said, you should also search the camp, but if if you don't have the necessary equipment to fight them, sometimes you need to skip it. I never skip it, but for the purpose of the video, like I said, I'll skip it. Just use armor piercing ammo against them. So let's see how much money we can make with the stuff we have. And I didn't even loot everything that I could. Sell that. Sell that. Crackers we have to keep, sadly. Yeah, I'll keep that as well. The Chinese notes and the other stuff is very, very expensive. In case, I think I'll just keep it. We might need it for another quest at some point. Also, you can sell the ammo. To be honest, in the beginning of the game, I recommend you sell all of the armor piercing ammo you find, because it's super, super expensive, and you can just buy better stuff or upgrade your base with it. So, I also like to open all of the red envelopes I found. Yeah, this guy. Also, he starts his cooldown by the moment you visit, so if you touch the merchant, he'll start his cooldown, and then you can visit them again in 10 minutes to see what he has. Just buy some other stuff. You can also search all of the containers in his base, loot everything, and then sell it to him immediately. I always find it kind of funny, because you're just getting loot from this area to sell to him. So yeah, no matter the loot, just get up and sell it. Actually a great place to get some extra money. Okay, that's it. And then let's continue the loot run. Now there are a few variations to this run that I can do, but usually I just like to stick with that. Again, loot might be tied to the player level, and that's why I'm getting so much better loot than you might be seeing, but ultimately, yeah, take that. I'll skip that one because I want to make this video a little shorter. You blow up that thing with a grenade, so just throw a grenade and you'll blow up the wall. I don't think there can be enemies over here, but sometimes you can get even 2 cabinets over here. Intel file. Nice, that's actually a very, very rare item. And then you want to go up all the way over here to the hill. For the boxes, which can have really good stuff or really bad stuff. I guess that's the idea of the box. You never know what they will put in it. Now you can, like I told you, you can skip this camp because usually it doesn't have anything that interesting, but sometimes it can have a tactical crate, and you also will find some interesting loot in the digging area. Unless you find the boss, in which case, I don't know, like I said, the boss is probably not worth fighting at some point because the risks are way too big and the rewards are not really that interesting. I never found him to drop something else. Or that there's another item. There also can be a suitcase over there sometimes. Also, if you are worried about the possible crow mercenary spawns, just shoot once before you enter this area. The man of light is over there, so he's not over here. The sneaky tactical box. Yeah, I guess might be worth it. Take all of the organic fibers as you can, because that's the stuff you'll be using to make armors in the beginning of the game. Now you can also go down this path. There are some interesting items over there, but not that good. And for another injector. Usually killing and looting the road camp takes me, I don't know, I would say 5 minutes. So at this point over here, you can go back to the small hill, sell all of your items, and then come back down here and see what you can get. Also, the scavengers can have really, really good items. Like sometimes the scavengers from this camp and this camp can have scavengers with AK 103s. They can have better backpacks. They can have some, like I said, these scavengers over here probably can have better loot in some cases than the road camp enemies, just because these enemies can have the best loot in the, I will not say in the game, but in the early game, but it's actually rare for them and they're much harder to kill, while these ducks can just give you the best stuff without too much hassle. Sometimes there's something over there. Minsk box over here. See, AK-103. Point proven. Again, it seems like the best loot I get only when I'm recording. There's also that over here, so don't get surprised by it. If you search all of the ammo containers on the map, you'll surely get some very expensive ammo. That's a mint condition ADAR. Lipstick is also nice to just sell. And for another chocolate milk. And over here you have a few ways of approaching things. Easy there. Let's open this fenced area, and over here we have another digging spot. It's like that is only going to have that key, so now you can go from here to here, but I don't really like to go over there because it's a lot of enemies to fight. The point is to fight less and loot more. So just keep that area over there and just go straight up. Also remember to loot that box. And come to this little camp over here, which will have 2 boxes always. Well, not always, I guess sometimes. And like I said, the boxes can have some of the best loot in the game or some of the worst, so always check them. I guess I should loot this box as well. Even if they don't have good loot, they can give you some really nice light items so for you to sell later. The camp over here has the tactical crate, some clothes to search, the food box. Was that recently added? I don't remember the ducks waving off. That's how I found most of my keys, just searching all of the clothes everywhere. So any location with clothes is worth searching. Any location with clothes, ammo boxes, even med boxes. Just search them. The injector still also search that box. And now you have a few options from over here, but I don't recommend you search all of them. If there's a food box around here, search for it. If not, that's that. This area can have a few ducks. It can be very annoying to fight because you're going to fight on the low ground. They have the high ground. Again, just loot everything that is light, doesn't matter. It will be worth some money. Storage fence key. And that's good. It's a great item. More stone, any more traps. Now, at this point, if you have some extra time, you can go to Mud's house, which is the bodybuilder house. But like I said, this is kind of like the end of the loot run. You shouldn't go there unless you have some spare time. Well, let's use an injector and go there because he has a few crates that can spawn near his house. Oh yeah, the food crate is the most important one, and the ammo. Wow, I got all of the boxes? Really? It's kind of rare that you see all 3 boxes over here spawn, but I guess it can happen. I think the boxes are also coded per location, so these boxes will not have that good loot, but the other ones have really amazing loot. And why should you come to his house? Well, usually you can have 2 or 3 containers. Also go up here. There can be something hidden behind the shelves as well. Oh, food box. Great. As long as, well, if you come over here all this way, you can also search the tower over here. Like I said, every box is worth searching because you never know what you're going to get, and on some very, very, very rare occasions, we can get something really, really good. I guess since we have a little bit of time, you can also loot that camp over there. Yeah, let's go over there as well. I guess I should take the soda crackers as well. Make some better bait. Over there, near that campsite, it's a bit of a mystery why, but you can also get a crow mercenary over there. Plus, the ducks there, oh, that's just honey sitting in the wilderness. That's new. Honey is very important as well. Yeah, apparently over here you can have a duck with some really cool equipment. That's the box over here. I'll now load that. Okay, be careful because sometimes the duck will shoot you through the woods. Kind of be surprising. So yeah, that's kind of like the entire route run. And yeah, you can basically loot the entire map if you wanted. But you should probably just make the runs a little shorter. So a run like this should be about 15 minutes in my opinion. Around 15 minutes more or less, depending on what equipment you have. Plus you can destroy the wall from here. And I guess I should have said this as well. You can destroy the wall with a grenade or an explosive and then just use this teleporter to go up here. So you can start here, use the teleporter to go up there. And just go to the north camp, road camp, and then extract like that. So you have a lot of options, to be honest. Can you actually use this to teleport there? I don't know, let's see. Okay. My duck is super slow, but the point is that this is a build meant for extreme difficulty hardcore. Also search the box if you see it. Nice. Safely back to base. And if you kill Chapo, you also get a lot of experience as well and all of the mercenaries. So it's such a fun game with so many mechanics that tend to be overlooked by people. And so I got a lot of cool items even from this single run, especially the AK-103, which is very, very rare on the first map, but when you get it, it's very much worth it. I guess I can repair all. I don't think it repairs stuff from your inventory, yeah? Why doesn't it want to repair it? Okay, let's repair it. It's 99 durability, that's not so bad. Yeah. So the explosion crates are really useful to either expand your warehouse, and you'll need quite a few of them, as you can see from here, M and L. You can also just sell them if you think you have too many or if you are low on cash. 4,000. Anyway, see you next time. Bye bye.